And good morning, North Georgia. Dodge Strength with White County Public Safety, broadcasting live this morning from Helen, Georgia. And we're going to show you some scenes this morning from the Chattahoochee River there on Main Street. But before we do that, let me tell you what's going on weather-wise. We still have light to moderate rain occurring across most of White County. If you look real close, you can see a line of thunderstorms. If Bryce, if you'll zoom in a little bit closer on the radar there so I can see, get some reference points there. You can see that line of heavier showers moving across the area. And you also will notice some orange and some yellow back off to the west, back in the direction of the Alabama state line. So we've got at least a couple of more hours of rain yet to go across North Georgia. So we could potentially pick up another inch to 2 inches of rain before this system is out of here, which could increase the flooding threat across White County. Now, I'll tell you, up until this point, we've fared fairly well. We do have a few issues across the county. Director Murphy will come live with us in just a few moments to kind of go over those areas. But so far, we have not had any major issues across the county due to all of the rain, and the wind hasn't been that bad as well. But understand, we still haven't had torrential rainfall. If we get some of those heavier showers, such as you see in that line that's moving into the area, we could have some very gusty winds along with that rain. And of course, all it takes is one wind gust of 30 miles per hour to start bringing down trees. So by no means are we out of the woods just yet. We've still got several more hours of this weather to go before it starts to push on off into South Carolina. Let's go ahead and take my shot live from Helen, and I'll show you what's going on with the Chattahoochee River. You'll notice the river this morning is certainly higher than it normally is. The river here in Helen normally runs at about a half a foot, and this morning it's up to around 3 feet. And if you look real close, you can see that it's up on the sidewalk there at the Castle Inn or the Troll Restaurant, which is not uncommon. This happens every time we get a heavy rain, but it is beginning to get up on the sidewalk about another foot, and we would have a problem inside the restaurant. If we were to receive some of those heavy downpours and pick up another quick 1 to 2 inches of rain, that would certainly be a possibility up here in Helen. There's also an issue on Bruckenstrasse near the entrance to Lorelei Resort. That's an area that is flood prone and typically goes under flood when we get a lot of heavy rain. There's a pond up on the hill, and the emergency release for that pond is down the roadway. So it's still passable. I just drove through there, but if you're going to be on Bruckenstrasse, you want to be very careful over the next couple of hours until we get all of this heavy rain out of here. But we just kind of wanted to give you a sense of what's taking place up here in Helen this morning. And this scene will probably be repeated in many locations along the Chattahoochee River all the way through White County. If you live in a low-lying area, be very mindful of the river level. It could rise very quickly. Those of us who are locals here in White County, we know this. It doesn't take much rain at all to get the Chattahoochee out of its banks, and it can rise and drop very, very quickly. Director Murphy is standing by in his office. He has a list of known problems across White County, and David is going to talk to us a little bit about those locations and give us an update on the power situation across the county as well. David?
Thank you, Don. And as you mentioned earlier in your broadcast, you made the statement that we have fared fairly well so far through this event that we've prepared for the last several days. We do have several areas that have been reported with some road issues, and I would like to go over that list with you right quick now. So we do have some issues in our normal locations on South Main Street and on Quillen Street in the city of Cleveland. Those are typical flood areas because of drainage issues and such. When we have a lot of heavy rain, we do have water ponding on the roadways, and especially in those areas, sometimes we have to actually shut down the roadway there. So you can see the city utility, city road department is working to mitigate those issues for us. As Don mentioned, we do have issues on Brookenstrasse and Etowah-Strasse in the city of Helen with water standing, and their public works departments are already working and are working continually to do that. Out in the county, we have some 115 East, we have standing water blocking one lane, and those some of those issues will just have to mitigate themselves as the water recedes off the highways. Some things to look out for when you're traveling around. Just know that the rain is can be heavy at times. It can, anytime we have rain, we have a potential for accidents to happen. So you have to just take those cautions, drive safely, make sure you slow down, and watch for that standing water in the roadways or on the side of the roadways, because it can cause you to hydroplane if you're not careful. Power outages in White County, HEMC is reporting 31 meters at this point, which is not huge for an event like this. And Georgia Power is reporting 0. So we have fared well so far on that. Again, we have a lot more storm coming our way, a lot more rain coming our way with potential of some higher winds. So just keep your eyes out, listen to your local media, watch your things. Your watch us here on Facebook and such to get weather updates. So taking it back to Don.
All right, thank you, David, for that report. And I've repositioned so you can see the Chattahoochee River is just downright ugly this morning. It is raging up here in Helen, Georgia. It's not causing any major issues so far, and it's not that uncommon for the river to get this high, especially when we have, 2 to 3 inches of rain in a relatively short period of time. And that's what we're seeing this morning up here in Helen. I am really surprised that we only have 30 some odd meters without power across White County. That's a testament to Habersham Electric and Georgia Power for their great work on blue sky days to keep us with power during events like this, because we've had many more meters without power with much less weather in times past. So kudos to our power company for keeping our power on across White County during this event. And again, I want to make sure everybody understands we're nowhere near done. We still have a couple, 2 or 3 more hours to go of this moderate and occasionally heavy rainfall. So as Director Murphy mentioned just a few moments ago, if you must get out in this stuff, make sure that you drive with extreme caution. There's a lot of standing water on the roadways. And if you do have power lines that go down, if you have a tree that you need to report to White County, please call our non-emergency number instead of calling 911 unless it is an emergency, and then you can call 911. Just to simply report a tree down or a power outage is not considered an emergency. We really want to keep our emergency lines open for true emergencies. And we're going to continue to update you throughout the day here on White County Public Safety's Facebook page and YouTube page. We would invite all of you to make sure that you share us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel over on YouTube so that you'll be sure and get these notifications when we go live. One other area that I checked on my way to Helen, and that's going to be Carolina Springs Road off of Helen Highway. We know that area quite often will go in under flood, and the road is in good shape right now. They've done a lot of work there over the last couple of years, but the creek that runs down beside Carolina Springs is beginning to spill into the roadway. So if this rain continues for much longer, we're probably going to have some problems there on Carolina Springs Road as well. So, Bryce, if you'll go back to the radar shot just one more quick time, and I will show everybody one more time what we still have to go this morning. You can see that line of thunderstorms moving through the area there. Not a lot of thunder and lightning with this in White County, but occasionally we get a stroke of lightning. You get down into the Atlanta metro, into the south, it gets worse. Bryce is highlighting that area of heavy rain that's moving toward White County. So you can see it's going to take another couple of hours for that to push through here. So another inch to 2 inches of rain, certainly not out of the question, and that could cause some flooding problems across the county. The severe weather has been limited to South Alabama, Northwest Florida, and Southern Georgia. The Albany area down in South Georgia under the gun at the moment with multiple severe thunderstorms down there. And occasionally we've even seen some tornado warnings down in that area as well. We expect all of the severe weather to stay down in South Georgia. Would not expect any of that up here in the Northeast Georgia mountains. So that's the report this morning from Helen. Again, stay with us here on White County Public Safety, and we'll keep you updated throughout the day. Be safe out there.